Ryan, is that as full of a 90 minutes as you've seen so far from your squad in preseason?
Well, no, there's the aspects that we obviously, a lot of aspects that we can improve on. But the good thing about it is, is the improvement. From the day one, we're starting to get guys now a bit fitter and used to the system, and as we progress with every single game, every single training, we'll get better. And I thought the performance was, was very good. Is there things to work on? Of course, there is. Yeah.
Is one of those aspects from training you've been progressing on, is that the transition game in midfield?
Yep. Transition is one of the biggest things in modern day football. It's on both sides of the field. And we opened them up really well with getting in some really nice positions defensively and setting traps, and the traps are set, and it probably just needed a little end product. But in saying that, we've had a lot of injuries up top, and Weeds has been fantastic for us. He's doing a lot of minutes, and same with Dwayne, because we're asking a guy of his age to do a lot for us, because we don't have much at the moment. But I thought they were very good. But yeah.
And from Dwayne Di Rosario, that's one of those unquantifiable qualities that he has that he can then impart onto the younger guys, and that's how to train yourself and keep yourself always game ready.
Yeah, at his age, he's got to worry about that, and that's very important. You don't heal as well when you're that age, and so we've got to look after him. And unfortunately, because of our injuries right at top, we just have to. We have to probably give him extra minutes than we'd really like, but he's such a good pro that he takes it on board and loves to play, and so yeah.
Justin Morrow played some tough minutes in the first half. Did you sub him out of precaution, or because he took a bit of a bump there?
Bit of a precaution. We've had our two right backs are injured at the moment, and he just got a little tweak. So it's just a precaution. We have to get him off. We can't avoid. He's such a naturally fit guy. But we can't afford to have another fullback down at the moment.
And finally, Julio Cesar, he didn't see too much action in the first game. Joe Bendit came in and played great in the second game. Is this all about getting Julio some minutes and making sure he has some quality stops and quality conversation with his defensive backs?
Exactly. It's just getting working together as a backline and a goalkeeper is very important. The spacing, and even Julio, he hasn't played as that many games, so it's just his spacing and his angles and everything like that. And it doesn't matter how experienced you are, you need games to get under the belt. But he didn't have much to do except for that one right at the end when it was our own fault. It was a stupid error from us, really a tired error. But when you have a class goalkeeper, he digs you out like that.
Coach, Toronto FC's entered into a partnership with the Wilmington Hammerheads this season. From a coach, we know from the general manager's perspective what that offers the club. From a coach's perspective, what are you looking for the players that you send down to the Hammerheads to gain from that experience?
Well, games. Yeah, they'll play minutes. I know they have. Dave is such a good coach for Wilmington. I know when I send players down there, he's in such good hands. He's so experienced. He knows the league. He knows what we want, and so having a man like that you're putting your younger players down to, I trust explicitly. So that's really good, and hopefully, getting away from their hometowns and getting away and learning a bit of how life can be like as a professional footballer, because Toronto FC is such a professional club. We spoil them sometimes, so it's nice for them to get some hairs on their chest, get some games, and I know they're in such good hands.
You obviously talk about the distance between the two clubs. It sounds like you're excited for the fact that they are going to get embedded within the squad. They're going to be in Wilmington for the duration of the season. Is that going to be good for their growth off the field as well?
Of course it is. Yes, you become a man, and sometimes when you're a lot of places, when they're at home, they get a lot of comforts. We give them a lot of comforts, but it's good when they're away and they see a bit of the real world as well, and experience life. And then they have to grow as human beings, not just as footballers, and that's really important about their character. But as I said, I know Dave, the coach down there, and Jason, the GM, they're in such good hands, and as I said, I know they'll get minutes, and I know they'll play, and hopefully they'll win for Wilmington. That's important. We can't be selfish and think that it's just on our side. We need to help Wilmington win games and hopefully try and get them to win a league.
As far as Jason and David are both here this week, they're working with you guys of scouting players that potentially may come down. How important are those lines of communication to be open throughout the season so that you're getting good progress reports on how the guys are doing?
Yeah, because things change really quickly. We could get injuries, they could get injuries, and so we just need to help each other out, and which we're going to do. And as I said, again, we've had a really good time with the guys down here. They know the system, how we play now, and kind of the language that we speak. And Dave's such a good coach that I have no problem now that when our boys go down there, they'll learn stuff as well, and the more they can learn, the better.
You talk about winning games and helping Wilmington win a championship. Is that part of the mental build-up, the mentality that you want to try to get these guys to get? Because as people have said in the past, winning is a habit, and it's a habit I think you want your young guys to get into the habit of.
Yes, and they'll be playing for 3 points, and that's really important when there's something on the line. You can play games, you can get minutes and that, but when there's a few thousand watching and there's 3 points and jobs are on the line, and Dave wants to win and we want to be successful. There's something on it. There's pressure, and that's why I like this over. No disrespect to the reserve league, but it was a bit of a relaxed kind of atmosphere. But yeah, there'll be people playing for jobs, and our boys have got to stand up and make a good account of themselves.